Hi-Fi Fitness. I'm Dennett, the host and producer. We will be getting an ab workout in, and we will be discussing some secret little tips about how to get more fit. With me in the studio, I am so fortunate to have two champions with me. I've got my good friend Eva. Eva, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me back on. I am so very honored to be here with a bodybuilder and a physique champion.
Eva, of course, has her own very successful record. And our special guest with us tonight, or for this show, is Sean. Sean just won the San Jose Men's Physique Competition. You won overall, which is a gigantic accomplishment. I'd like to hear a little bit about that and what motivated you. How'd that competition go? Let's hear some inside stories.
Well, I feel like ever since high school, I've always kind of had like a fitness or something involved with, just health in general, because I grew up with a sports background. And, ever since high school, I took it upon myself to gather more knowledge, take classes, and just, and over the years, I've had tons of people come up to me and ask me about personal training. So eventually, I decided to, take it to the next level and try to compete. And over the years, definitely had sight on doing the San Jose, because obviously I'm from San Jose. And
just to get into it a little more, why physique? What is physique, and why physique?
Oh, okay. So that's definitely a very common question. I get that a lot, because obviously you have bodybuilding and physique, and sometimes you have fitness and like the WBFF and so forth. With that, I feel like physique is something that's very attainable for the, not average person necessarily, but somebody who wants to maintain a healthy look year-round. So I feel like bodybuilding, you kind of have those, off seasons, aka bulks, where I don't really like that. I like to keep kind of my aesthetics year-round. So that's something that when I saw the physique category pop up, I was like, that's something I want to do, because that's something, for one, I can maintain it year-round. There's no real off-season. I don't have to go through like a sloppy bulk or, feel, down about myself, and I feel like I'm always beach ready, as they say.
And so how long have you been competing as a physique competitor?
I would say it's been about a year and a half now. With that, I feel like physique is something that's very attainable for the, not average person necessarily, but somebody who wants to maintain a healthy look year-round. So I feel like bodybuilding, you kind of have those, off seasons, aka bulks, where I don't really like that. I like to keep kind of my aesthetics year-round. So that's something that when I saw the physique category pop up, I was like, that's something I want to do, because that's something, for one, I can maintain it year-round. There's no real off-season. I don't have to go through like a sloppy bulk or, feel, down about myself, and I feel like I'm always beach ready, as they say.
And so how long have you been competing as a physique competitor?
I would say it's been about a year and a half now. My first show was the San Jose back in 2011. Mm-hmm. And, I went into it like, oh, I look great. I'm going to kill it out there, and had a lot of fun, but did not know posing played a big role in competing. And since then, I've obviously put a higher focus on posing, and then, of course, training and diet, of course, gets better and better as the shows go on.
I have to bug you. So give us some secrets. I mean, you've got some of the best abs out there. What are some diet secrets? And also, some of our viewers don't compete. So what is something they can do to clean up their diet and get abs like you?
Well, definitely another common question, because, of course, diet, if you guys don't know, is something, it's about 70% of the battle. Because, I mean, you can train, you can do your cardio, but if you're not putting the right foods and supplements on top of that into your system, it's like trying to run your car without the right fuel, right? You're supposed to put in, 91 gasoline into your Mercedes, but you're putting in 87. Your car's gonna break down a little sooner than it should. So nutrition's a very key aspect, and when it comes to diet, I feel like the best thing you can do is you got to stick to something long enough to see if it works for you, because what may work for me may not work for you, or, you know, obviously for the ladies, of course.
So what are like the staples? I mean, if someone was going to go out now and fill up a shopping cart of food, what kind of food would you recommend they fill it up with?
That's a very good question, and that kind of gets me more to the direct point. Yeah, so I feel like, you know, first thing is you got to stick with the lean proteins, of course. You know, healthy fats. And so lean proteins, you know, you're looking at steaks, of course, that have less marble, right? Because it's okay to have steak. Definitely want to do, you know, chicken breasts, of course. Stay away from the ones with the skin, of course. You know, fish is always good. You know, there's really not too many things that I say that you can't do. Flex dieting is good for anybody. It's just a matter of, if you're going to have salmon, you know, you probably shouldn't be mixing in some almonds and or avocado and extra fats. You're already getting your fat from your meat. So I feel like, again, you just want to look for carbs, fats, and protein in every meal. Good rule of thumb for anybody out there is, you know, basically the size of your fist, that's going to be, you know, your carbs. The size of your palm, that's going to be the size of your protein. And then the fats, the size of your thumb.
Awesome. I love that he pointed out portion control. Portion control can make all the difference. So just curious, how many meals do you eat throughout the day?
Yeah, those are some excellent questions. I want to recap on that real quick, because that is such an important point for our viewers to get. That was protein or carbohydrates the size of your fist.
Yep.
And then
protein. Sorry. Carbs, sorry if I said
carbs the size of your fist?
Yes.
Protein the size of your palm?
Yep.
So that's the palm with your palm without your fingers.
Yes, exactly.
And fat's the size of your thumb.
Exactly.
So that's not, I mean, if I'm eating nuts, that's not very many nuts.
No, you know, that kind of more so relates to like avocado or something along those lines. Or even if you're going to maybe use margarine, which I don't really recommend butter so much, because I try to avoid that, of course, especially when I'm show prepping. But just it's a rule of thumb. It's not necessarily going to work for everybody. But if you just didn't want to weigh out your food, you just wanted to eyeball it, that's a great way to eyeball it. But the way that I do it, of course, for like nuts, for example, you know, a serving size is usually about 20 to 25, depending on the type of nut. But usually I do a couple.
Coconuts.
20.
20.
He's a funny guy. So obviously I'm talking about, you know, like any tree nut, such as like, you know, peanuts, cashews, walnuts, anything such as that nature. But of course I usually do about a couple servings of fats throughout the day. So I would do, you know, like 12 here, 12 in my lunch, you know, so mix and match.
So Sean makes a great point that you're going to get the healthy fats in other parts of the meal, not just...
Sure, getting the lean meats you will. So I've got two questions. I'm really curious on diet. One, how many meals a day are you eating? Do you do the intermittent fasting? And the next question, if you remember it, is, so one, how many meals a day? And I'll hit the next one in a moment.
No worries. It does vary on what type of the year it is, but of course, when I'm show prepping, it could be anywhere from 6 to 7 meals. It just depends on what stage of the prep I'm at. So right now, as I'm about 5 weeks out from the Governor's Cup, I'm about 7 meals in. Of course, does that mean I'm having carbs, fats, and proteins every single meal? No, I'm not going to give you my exact diet plan, but I will say, but I will say that there's a couple meals where it's just strictly protein, just to get my protein in still.
Actually, we do want to hear your exact meal plan. Don't you want to hear it?
I as a competitor, I know he's competing.
Okay, we'll let him off the hook this time. But tell us, what's your carb intake like? Do you go ultra low carb? Or what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. And I was just kidding, of course. If you guys wanted to know, I could give you all that information, because like I said, what may work for me may not work for you. So it is a secret for myself, but at the same time, it changes every single show prep, right? So, but as far as the carbs go, that's very key, because I feel like most people don't understand that your protein should stay relatively the same no matter what your goal is for the most part, and what you should be fluctuating is more so your fats and your carbs. Of course, sodium and water play a big factor when you're going to dial in for the show, but of course carbs and fats are the thing you should be kind of manipulating a little bit. And as far as carbs go, as far as what am I doing as far as carb cycling or low day, high day, again, it's going to vary on the stage of the prep, but for right now I'm kind of doing like a teetering or a tier effect. So I'm going like low, mid, like a high day, and like a refeed day, if you want to call it that.
So I have a question. What is your preferred form of cardio? Because cardio can make all the difference, right? You're either going to burn off too much muscle or not enough cardio. I mean, what do you do?
And I'd like to add to that. Do you do fasted cardio in the morning, or are you taking a protein shake, or what are you doing? Give us your secrets. We want to know.
I'll definitely. As far as the cardio goes, most people dread it. I would say over the last couple of preps, I've learned to actually appreciate it and enjoy it, because it's like when you do the fasted cardio in the morning, yes, I do fasted cardio in the morning. I feel like my first meal, aka breakfast, it's like a free meal, right? It doesn't even count. It's just refueling me, and then by the time meal 2 comes around, my body wants that. You know what I mean? So every meal. Go ahead.
So that's awesome. I want to recap, and then let's go get some exercises. I want you to teach me how to build those abs. But part of it's diet, and again, I really want to go on portion control. You're getting 6 small meals a day. You often start with the size of your hand for carbohydrates. And if you go to a restaurant, think of the amount of pasta you get on a plate. It's a lot smaller than your fist. I mean, I could probably fit maybe 5 of my fist on a nice dinner, and so you're just way overloading. And then again, protein is the size of your palm without your fingers, and fats, thumb. I like that. Cool rules. Let's go get some exercises going, and can you teach me some secrets?
Sounds great.
All right, and so if the audience is curious to see where to find Sean will actually be competing at Governor's Cup in Sacramento, California. And we'll be going pro this summer, hopefully, make his debut at Nationals in South Carolina towards the summer.
That's right.
All right, if you could demo.
So one of my favorite exercises for your abdominals or abs is the planks. And I know most people dread them, or they think that the first thing you got to do is always crunch, crunch, crunch. How many crunches do I got to do to get abs like you, for example? And I always feel one of the best things you do is build,
Let's see.
Yeah,
Show me.
So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get down basically on your forearms here. You're going to get up on your toes, and then essentially you're just going to keep your core and your lower back nice and tight. And usually what I would do is I would hold this for a beginner, try like 30-second holds. And as you get more and more advanced, you can get up to about 2-3 minutes, which is typically where I'm at. And I guarantee you, by the end of that 2 minutes.
Let me give it a try, and then maybe you could show me a couple advanced. And
exactly. Let's do that.
Some of our viewers are more advanced and some are less. So, I mean, what are some examples for more advanced and less advanced? We're starting off with a simple plank.
Simple plank, and like I said, you're going to keep your core nice and tight. So you're going to want to bring this in, suck it in as if you're on stage, and then keep this. You should almost feel like a nice little tight back there, and then just like you're doing. And of course you would hold it for a good, again, 30 seconds to about a minute to 2 minutes if you're more advanced. And then, so that's just one of the first workouts I would have you do. And let's do a four count. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. And now we're gonna go into the side plank. And you're gonna be just like that. And of course you're gonna wanna wrap that top leg around the bottom leg. So you're gonna swap that all the way around. Go up and under, or down and around.
Like that.
So this is gonna go on the top. There you go. Okay. And this is great for your obliques, but he's actually in improper form right now. He's gonna wanna bring this up a little bit.
Show me.
And then he's gonna start feeling a nice burn right here.
I do feel that. Yeah. That does burn.
And it's a really great way to bring in that little side core and kill those obliques.
I'm feeling it.
So now let's do a 1, 2, 3, 4 count, and now let's switch to the other side real quick.
Do you hold in the middle again, or?
You could if you want to switch it up.
So it would be like this, and
then you're gonna switch the legs again.
So this leg goes like that.
There you go, perfect. And then now again, you're gonna feel that nice little burn right here.
Keep this tight.
Keep it tight. And anytime that you stop losing that feeling, that probably means you're dropping your hips. So anytime you do that, just always remember to bring your hips up.
I feel it.
Yeah, you trust me.
It burns. That burns pretty quick.
Yeah,
I like that.
It is a really nice one, right?
That's a good one.
So let's give it a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now, I don't know if you remember the one I showed you earlier, but now we're gonna lay on your back, okay? And what you're gonna do, give you a little...
Take a nap.
Exactly, take a little nap right here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring your hips up, and then you're gonna bring one leg up. A lot of times you can rest it here or just rest right on the ground. And with this one, again, that same concept. What you're gonna do is you're gonna keep the core tight, and again, you should feel it a little bit here also.
I feel my glutes too.
You will feel it there. You're gonna bring it down right about here, and then remember to bring this up a little bit, and you just feel it here. And again, you might even feel it in that hamstring at the same time. And then another little advanced part of it is versus just keeping the toe up, you're just gonna simply pull it straight out right there. And again, that one eventually you do hold, and it's gonna kill
It's burning. I
kill
feel
burn.
it.
So let's give a 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's switch it up. Other
Switch
leg,
sides?
Other leg, yep. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, but your quads are crazy right now.
Oh, thank you. I feel it all over.
Yeah, so again,
a lot of
we're gonna
core.
bring up that core a little bit.
Try to keep a straight line.
Yeah, nice.
Sort of like yoga.
It is actually, and this is something that anybody can do at home, and that's the great thing I love about these is that you don't need a crazy fancy gym. I'm making them hold it while I'm just talking to you guys, and
I'm feeling it.
4, 3, 2, 1. So far, how was that? Do you feel like if you,
I felt it in the core. That was good. How
Right.
long do you normally hold for?
like I said, just for the beginners, you can start with 30 seconds for each one of those right there. And then if you want to be, if you're a little more advanced, try a minute. And then of course, build up to as far as you can go. Like for myself, I get it to the point where I'm starting to shake and I go about 2-minute long holds. And I do that
Nice.
4 times, and I guarantee you your lower back and your abdominals will eventually get tighter and tighter. And that's
Show me
what-
the next one while you're talking.
Yeah, for sure. So the next one is a really good one. It does a little bit of upper body. Again, still works the core at the same time. I'm going to show you 3 different versions for the beginner, intermediate, and then advanced, of course.
Awesome.
So the first one is for the beginner. So of course, if you don't know, if you can't do a push-up or don't have the upper body strength, you can start on your knees like so. Simply come down here, like in the push-up position, press up, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring your knee to your chest, come back down, back up, knee to chest, and you're gonna keep repeating that, of course. And that would be the beginner version. Of course, the intermediate would just be your normal one, where you're gonna be up on your toes, and just like so, down to push-up position. You're gonna explode back up. Again, knee to chest, down, back up, knee to chest. That would be the intermediate. And then the last version would be a little bit more advanced. Again, up on your toes. You're gonna come down like so, press up, and you're gonna come across your body, back down, and then cross your body, back up, and repeat.
Let me give them a try. It's a little like yoga again, I think.
Again, a little like yoga.
So we're gonna start off. I'll just start with the regular. Then do a push up.
And that's totally fine. I mean, you can go as low as you want, of
Yeah.
course. You want to try to focus more so on the chest. There you go. Explode. And again, you're more than welcome, and you can even do little minor holds like that. It's
So hold here for a minute.
Yeah, and that would be
bring your leg up.
yeah. Because if you were to go down there and hold it, it actually brings more blood to the for one his pecs and or his trap area. So, I mean, sorry, his his
Chest.
Oh my goodness, forgot.
Okay, so I do the twist now?
Tricep. There we go. Now we're gonna do the twist. Let's go down,
Hold.
come on up, do the twist across the body. There you go. And if you do enough of these, you will definitely feel the burn. It's a slightly different burn than you feeling earlier, because obviously this is more of a crunching action than it is a hold action.
I feel that when I twist, it's a good burn. How many should I do?
Let's do 2 more, and then 1 more on the other side, and then we'll go into a nice little kettlebell swing.
So
There we
what's
go.
your favorite ab exercise?
Cool. One of my favorite ones is that you
Show
have-
me it.
I would love to show you, but I did not bring that equipment.
Okay.
Because, but one of my favorite ab exercises that I would love to do, that I do at home, is I have these. They're really not. They're called ab boots.
Yeah.
But
So you put some weight on your feet.
yes, but one of my favorites that I can do while at home is that it's kind of like called like a V up. So what you do Simply gonna come, lay flat, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna come up into a nice little V up like this.
Okay, so that might be hard. What's the starting area for that?
More of like a beginner version of that?
Yes.
Well, a very beginner version of that would just be, of course, and if you don't have the strength, of course, you can always put like a dumbbell or something that your feet are being supported, so it gives you a little more leverage in order to make the crunch. A beginner version would just is simply a regular version like this. And if you're not able to do that as well, you can just simply start with some of these right here. And these are just your typical crunch.
Yeah.
Of course, but with the V up, like I said, it is a little more advanced.
Let me try a couple of
But
those.
you
See
can
what
try it real quick.
So it's you're starting with hands out,
So you're gonna put your feet flat as well, and you're basically gonna your feet behind you,
hands behind me.
and you're gonna basically. Some people call it a suitcase.
Okay, so let's.
So you're gonna bring everything and you're trying to bring your feet up higher, a little higher, like that. There you go, just like that. And as you can tell, this is a little bit more advanced for the typical person, but of course, if you can't do the V up, another way to be able to do something that's a little bit easier, because as you can see, he's starting to struggle a little bit. So now let's show him a little bit of the beginner version. So let's just pretend. See, I use my bed, and I'll use my bed frame. So put your feet flat real quick, buddy. There we go. And I would use like my bed frame to hold my feet like this, and then just a simple, there you go, just like that. So it gives you that little bit of a leverage. And now when I take the feet off, see how you see his feet?
A little harder.
Exactly. So with the leverage there, so I'll usually take a dumbbell or something to support my feet to give me that leverage to be able to create that movement.
Put the kettlebell on the feet or something.
Yeah, a kettlebell would be
some
a little
good
bit
tips.
hard, but yes. So
how many days a week you're working abs?
okay, so very good question actually.
What's your secrets?
Some people think that you hit abs every day or whatever case. I usually go with how I feel. Of course, I usually do about every other day.
I'll hit some planks while you're talking. Keep talking.
There you go. So yeah, I used to do about every other day. And some days what I'll do is when it's supposed to be a rest day, I'll take that whole day to literally just do a little cardio, and I literally will smash my abs for probably about an hour and a half. And I guarantee you, if you were to do that and actually focus on what you're doing.
Wait. Did you say you're doing abs for an hour and a half?
So I mean, obviously there's a little bit of breaks.
That's a long ab workout. That's insane.
Yeah, I'll pick about 6 of my favorite ab workouts, and I'll cycle them. So I'll do about 6 different ones, and I'll do about 4 or 5 rotations. And if you were to do that, I guarantee you, probably about 3 days, you're gonna feel like Muhammad Ali just straight went boxing practice on your abdominals. And it doesn't feel good, but I guarantee you, obviously let it rest like anything else, any other muscle. Your abdominals are muscle. You have to let it rest. You cannot just continue to train it. I mean, you could, but of course, if you want them to pop and to grow just like any other muscle, you have to factor in recovery and rest time.
Okay.
So
what about off season? How often are you training?
So off season, it doesn't change a whole lot. As I said before, the thing I love about physique, and I also do, fitness modeling on the side. So it's like I'm constantly needing to be in shape for what I do. But as far as off season, it doesn't change a whole lot. I feel like dialing in for my show, it's just diet tweaks. My training doesn't change a whole lot. I don't do any.
So you're doing abs? Do you say 2 or 3 days a week? 2 or 3 days a week?
About 3 to 4.
And that's like an hour. So do you go to the gym? I'm just gonna do abs today.
No, I mean that's just occasionally when I'm supposed to take a rest day, right?
Okay. Well, we have a little more time left. Let's get a couple more exercises going.
Perfect. So
what are 2 more of your favorites?
2 more of my favorites would be if you have a kettlebell or even a dumbbell. You don't have to have a kettlebell necessarily, but you can take a dumbbell, and it's again a full body workout. So you're going to utilize a kettlebell, both hands, and you're going to come down and come up. So essentially what you're doing is you're going to use your core and a little bit of your legs, obviously, to lower the weight, and then you're going to kind of create somewhat of a swinging mechanism, but you're going to utilize, don't forget to use your core, your legs.
So you're doing that very, very different from the way I learned. I learned to do these sort of the CrossFit style, which is we get it under and we just fling up as hard as you can.
Yeah, so...
Now I see you're going slow and squeezing, so is that gonna...
Yeah, I mean, again, it depends on what you do.
Show me that one again. So
So yeah, it really depends on what you want to get out of the workout. I like to get a full body workout, so I like to utilize my legs. You can feel it in your glutes, and when you come up, you can squeeze those glutes, but also stretch out the core, and then you're gonna bring it up.
Could you pace me through a couple?
Yeah, let's do this. Come on.
Okay.
So ready? So down, ready? Come up and squeeze. Down, come up and squeeze. Right? Down, come up and squeeze.
No momentum here. It's
Down,
all
come up and squeeze. And now we'll get into a few momentums towards the end though. Ready? And let's pick up the speed load. Ready? Come on. There you go.
interesting. I actually never tried these slow before.
And then we're gonna slow it down.
And it burns.
In 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good.
Right. So again.
Interesting. Very low impact compared to how I used to do them.
Yeah, I mean, again, I know a lot of people out there all up on the CrossFit hype. I love CrossFit. I know you mentioned it earlier. CrossFit is a great sport, a great
push, great camaraderie, great team effort.
There's a lot of things I love about it, but like you said, it's very high impact. And
I like how that was low impact. Well, we've got time for one more. What's another one of your favorites?
Another great one is a lot of people comment and mention I have these massive delts, shoulders. So
yeah, shoulders, boulders, you mean.
Since we happen to have a nice little kettlebell here, another good one is a little isolation. And again, it could be with a dumbbell, usually what you would do it with, but of course you can do it with the kettlebell.
Yeah.
And just simple kettlebell swings, and you're gonna hit those side delts. And at the same time, you can get a little bit of glutes and a little bit of core involved. And of course, you're gonna switch sides. I'm in the middle of show prep, I can't just do this one side. I gotta demonstrate the other side, right? So, and
how far out are you from your show?
5 weeks.
So you were squatting when you did those?
Yeah, so again, so you're gonna do a similar movement to what we're doing, except now you're gonna kind of more so isolate your side delt here, okay? And this one you can put a little more momentum, right? Because this one's a little bit harder without the momentum, right? So we're gonna come up, you're gonna come down, bam, right here. So similar to that swinging motion.
All right, well, we are almost out of time. I'd like to invite our good friend Eva to come back up and join us. And I want to thank you for all your tips. And when's your next show? How far out are you?
Like I said, probably about 5 weeks out from my next show, the Governor's Cup, and looking forward to that. And then moving on to nationals for the rest of the year.
All right, what's your favorite ab exercise?
You know what, the V-abs makes all the difference. Also some great medicine ball ab workouts that I think we're gonna have to do on another show with Sean.
Yeah, we'll have to bring you back and focus more. Those are just great. I really enjoyed those tips. I want our viewers to remember the diet tips, portion control, also working your body, your abs, some great starter points. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for
awesome.
joining us on the show, Sean. Of course, Eva's great. You're part of the group here.
Yes, thank you.
Come back. I'd like to, invite you to come back sometime and show us a few more tips and pointers. And again, when was your comp?
5 weeks from tomorrow, actually.
I want to wish you the best of luck on that. What are you going to